Welcome, welcome, welcome. It is day number 3 of our Sourdough Bake-a-thon series. It's 7 days of sourdough. Every different day, every different day, every day of the 7 days, we're going to be making something with our discard. Okay, his name is Fred, and that's what we're going to be doing. Today, it was voted for garlic sourdough cheese rolls. So I'm going to be putting a mixture of garlic and herbs and whatever in it. I'm excited. Okay. You do have a chance to vote for what you want to see tomorrow. So don't be shy. Vote, put in the vote when you're watching this. Let me know what you want to make. If you have a suggestion and it's not on the poll, definitely leave a comment. Let me know what you want to see, and I will try my best to make it happen. Okay. So we're going to be using some flour, a little bit of salt. This is a lot, but a little bit of salt. Now, for this particular recipe, you can use milk or you can also use water. Okay. I've been using water all the time, but I do have some buttermilk because I've made some fresh butter. I have some buttermilk here that I'm going to be using up. Okay. So if you don't have milk, you can use water. Totally fine. Then we have some butter that we're going to be using. And the most important thing of all is going to be our discard. We are not using any commercial use, anything else but the discard. So hopefully he behaves today and he works. So this is what he looks like. He's fully active. I keep the discard in the fridge. Every time I refresh my starter, I add the discard to this right here. Okay. So the recipe, once I'm done and I have time, the recipe will be in the description. As long as it's a perfectly good working recipe, it will be in the description. If you don't see a recipe in the description, I'm working on a video. I'm just saying. Okay. Like yesterday we were supposed to make sweet potato bread. No, dumpling. I'll show you in a bit what it looks like, but I am not too happy about that. So I'm reworking that recipe and I'll be doing a video about it because it has potential, like lots of potential for all of it. So to start, we are going to be using 200 grams of discard. Now my discard is at room temp, but he's slightly active, which is what I'm looking for. Because if this discard was not alive, I don't know how I would do this without it. I'm just saying. Okay. So we're gonna take about 200 grams. Now I'm trying my best to be precise. The the discard. Reason being, if I put too much, and I've done this before, if I put too much discard, it will um, be too gummy. I'm not gonna get the right texture, and it will just throw off the entire hydration of the recipe. Like I'll just throw everything off. I try my best to be precise. Right now we have 204 grams, which is fine. 4 grams is not going to kill me. If I go over the 4 grams, that might be a problem. But 4 extra grams over, that's fine. Now I like to mix my liquid with my discard. I usually use warm water. Again, if you don't want to use water, you can use milk. I'm using buttermilk because I made butter. So I'm just gonna warm this a little bit in the microwave. I just want it to be a tad bit warm. I find that it's best. It helps to mix everything with the warm liquid, and it just combines. I'm telling you, it combines. Forgive me, I'm having a moment today. Okay, I think I've been having a moment all week, but that's okay. I'll get it done. So we have 200 grams discard. We're gonna add about 270 grams You can use water. I'm using butter. Water works fine. The water is not going to do anything. Milk just adds flavor if you're looking for additional flavor. But because of what I have in mind, it should work with the milk. It should work with the butter, with the water. Sorry, it's fine. So just mix it together. This is what I usually do. This is how I start most of my recipes, especially if they have a good enough water ratio. And even if they don't, I still add the liquid to the discard just so that everything is fully incorporated. How do I know if this is going to work? Maybe. Happen. Things happen. Things happen all the time in our lives. So it is what it is. Okay. So now that we have that mixed in, we are going to add flour. I'm using all-purpose flour. There's no bread flour in this, nothing, no cornstarch, nothing. This is just straight all-purpose flour. And this is going to be about 500 grams. So also too, if you go over 1 or 2 grams, that's fine, but you don't want to go over like 10, 20, 15 grams. But it will really change. Because it's sourdough, I'm thinking anything extra outside of what you need in the actual recipe, it is going to change it slightly. I'm still working on figuring out how the sourdough actually works. And so far, this is what I'm seeing. They're going to add about 10 grams of salt. Now, this particular recipe, you can also add sugar if you want to make like a sweet roll. The sugar is not going to hurt it. You can add the sugar in with the discard and the liquid because yeast feeds on sugar and it just gives it more to work with. So we're gonna mix our dough. I pretty much mix most of my dough, if not all, with a mixer. You can mix it by hand if that's what you're doing, that is totally fine. But I like using my mixer for the convenience of it. Okay, so we have our liquid, we have our flour, we have our discard and our salt. So we're gonna mix it all together. And make sure it's fully combined. Now, unlike yesterday, this you want to mix it till you got a full blown window pane. I don't care. You want a nice window pane. You can see it. I'll do the test once it comes together. Perfectly fine. So we're just gonna mix this up. And for the butter, I have 50 grams of butter because I want this to be really buttery. My original recipe calls for 30 grams. So you can use anywhere between 30 to 50 grams. It's going to make the dough a little softer, but it's giving it more, it's going to be rich. I love anything with butter. That's just what this is. But today should be easy. Should be. Should be. So I'm just going to add the butter in. Today should be an easy day, but you know, environmental issues, if it's too warm, the dough might want to do its own thing. It's all these different things. My butter is cold only because it's warm and I didn't leave it at room temperature. But room temperature butter is fine. I think they leave it at room temp because I did not want it to melt. So it's gonna add the butter and the raisins and everything will combine. And what I like to do while it's at this stage, I like to just scrape down the sides. If you have a lot of things like the flour and the butter, it's gonna accumulate here. Not all good stuff right here. Waste all that. You know what expensive, baby? I remember when I could buy a 20 pound bag of flour for like $9. That was just ridiculous. And if it's a certain type of brand, it's even more expensive. It's just to me. So now that I have that straight, we should have this mix anywhere between 8 to 10 minutes, depending on your mixer speed. It just depends. So we're just gonna have that. Now, if you're just joining, this is our sourdough series, the 7 day of baking with sourdough, and I'm using my disc drive. So vote for what you want to see us make tomorrow. It should be fun. Listen, these series is very fun. The week, the week that we have, every week that we do this, it's a lot of fun. It's a lot of stress, but it's a lot of fun. And I'm here for all the fun. So we're just mixing that in, and the more you mix, the more the butter actually melts into the dough, which is perfect. While this is mixing, I am going to lightly oil my bowl so you can resting in it. And I know it's mostly my I tend to oil the bowl. I really don't want anything sticking in on me. Like, you see how nice and soft this dough is? Oh, you got no close up. Look at this. The window pane is almost there. Sorry to that hole. But the structure is coming. But the dough itself is very pliable. Like, it's soft. So you know those rolls are gonna be nice and soft. And I'm here for all of it. I really am. So when you're oiling your bowl, just use, as with yesterday or anytime I do this, I use vegetable oil. But you can use neutral oil if that's what you want. You can use butter, melted butter, anything that you have, honestly. You just use it to make it work for you. So I'm gonna let it oil this way. And we're ready to go. But I'm super excited because one, I love a good cheese and everything. Anything with cheese and butter, I love it. Okay, that's done. I'm so good. So I can see. So it's coming together. As you can see, the structure is there. I just want it to be a little more window painting. Like some people would stop here. I don't go all the way until I can stretch it and it doesn't break and it looks very see. That's just me. But you just want a nice solid window pane so no matter how far you stretch it, it does not tear. It'll work that way. But see, a great from yesterday because the dough was not look like this yesterday. I don't understand why. I understand why now. But I'm so embarrassed, okay? I have to cut the big bread so that you can see it. It's dumpling. But I'm pretty sure if I hit someone on the head with it, they'll get hurt. It's so hard. But as you can see, the dough doesn't actually stick to the bowl, which is why I love this. So as you can see, we're getting closer. Like you can stretch or getting closer. So if you're ever unsure, mix it until you're able to just pick it up, stretch it, and it's all that's fine. So I think what I'm gonna do is it is gonna be like how you make cinnamon rolls, but I also feel like I'll make standalone rolls instead of in a container. So some will be in a baking pan. So I'll probably do four in a baking pan, and then I'll do the rest standalone just to see how they bake out. You should save these. Okay? Grab and go. Grab and go. That's all I'm saying. Breakfast, lunch, dinner, whatever. Grab and go. I'm here for all of it. And I went out yesterday and I got some butter, so we're not using my homemade butter, but that's okay. It's fine. It's still gonna work. It's still gonna be delicious. Okay, I'm not mad at it. But any chance I get to use anything homemade, I'm here for all of it. Okay, so this is the mixing. Honestly, how long have we been here? 15 minutes? 5, 6 minutes since I've been mixing. Maybe a little more. But I just want to make sure it's developed so that once it's rested, I have no issues with it. You can leave it at room temperature, or you can leave it in the oven with the light on and so like 15. The temp might be a little longer, especially if that area is not. Leave it at room temperature and it should be fine. So as you can see, the dough is super spongy. I love it. So if we see, we can get a nice stretch. That looks like it's about to tear because my nail went through it. But I'm pulling, and it's a nice window pane, and I broke it. But the actual pane itself was still there, right? So that's good enough. I'm just gonna mix it through. I can get a ball, and then we're gonna rest it. And that's it. The mixing section is easy. Again, you can use water, you can use milk. I use buttermilk because I made fresh butter. But if you don't have butter, the recipe is not going to the rolls are still gonna taste the same. So even if you don't use milk and you want to use water, it'll still be the same. There'll be no real issues. Like look how smooth this is. Completely smooth. So basically you can ball it up or just take it out and plop it in the bowl. There's no real because this is resting. You just want to relax this and give it time to ferment because again, this does not have any commercial yeast. This is all discard. So the longer you let it bulk ferment, the better. But I mean, don't leave it too long because you don't want it over fermented. But if you do by some weird chance, your proofing time will be shorter because it would already have been resting forever. So I normally rest this for about 3 to 4 hours. I think I pushed it once to about 5 hours because I fell asleep. How do you do? Just rest it. I put it in the oven, rest it with the light on. Okay, that needs a little more time. So I'm gonna put this in the oven so that it can bulk ferment. It'll be there for 3 to 4 hours. I'm gonna set my timer for 4 hours because anywhere between the 3 hour and 4 hour mark, you can take it out. But I try to go as far as I can with time. So if it's 4 hours, it's 4 hours. Now, I'm giving my dough some time. Bread we made yesterday. Embarrassed. This is not bread, this is dumpling. First of all, these are the little rolls, right? Tastes good. 100% cool, but they're hockey pucks, right? I have to rework the recipe. Oh, embarrassed. That's okay. At least now I know. And I promised I was gonna cut this. Yeah, it's not even hollow. It's hard. It's not cool. That's not cool. I keep embarrassing myself on this live stream. See, we're gonna see the mess that was the sweet potato bread. Okay, here's the thing. Dumpling. Can you look at that? It's horrible. This is like I can't even. Listen, if the bread looks good, you see the crumb structure right here. You see that? Awesome. This, I don't even know what this is. It kind of looks like it's on the bake. It really does. Which would explain why it's like gummy, like super gummy. It looks on bake, but right here, what the structure would look. Now, I completely failed. The sweet potato bread failed, failed, failed. I I'm reworking it. Yeah, this looks like it's on the bake, 100%. But even if it was baked all the way through, it'll still be like who's eating this? What is this? Oh, so embarrassed. I'm embarrassing myself making bread. Listen, this is too much. Way too much. So clearly, it's on the bake. Again, this right here would be your crumb structure, which would be good for the type of bread that this is. So I'm gonna be reworking the recipe because honestly, it was like full hydration where it's like I don't think I'm ready to work with 100% hydration though. And this is the mini ones. The mini ones are a little better. This will give you the full crumb structure for the minis. And the minis were delicious. So the bread itself, the sweet potato bread has potential. I just need to rework it because baby, no way. There's no way. I was even looking at my recipe and I was like, girl, why would you have like 300 grams this grams? You never, ever did that. I'm cutting it smaller so I can just easily dispose of it. It's really heavy. It's a disappointment. You probably make good croutons if it was baked all the way through. It's just completely not what I expected. I at least thought that it was baked all the way through, but nope. This bad boy is just not working with me. Okay, so since my original dough needs a little more time, we're going to make the filling for my cheese rolls. Because to be honest, you can do anything that you want. You can, I don't know if many of you like sausage rolls. You know how they roll up with the little sausage inside? You can do that with cheese. So it's a cheese roll that way. Or you can roll it as if you would cinnamon roll or danishes. You can roll it up that way, which works perfectly as well. Or you can slice the little balls, like not slice, but separate your dough into small balls, enough to make like a loaf. So I'll go to a random number six. Let's say we have six dough balls. You can roll them out Round them, roll them out like you're making a flat bread, and then you can put it in your bread pan, and then you can make bread that way. Cheesy bread. You can do a lot of different things, which is why I love experimenting. Because if one shape doesn't work, you can figure it out with something else. I'm just gonna get my bowl right here, and then we are going to. I put my cheese in the freezer because it started to melt. Make the filling. I'm gonna do two things. I'm gonna do it like a cinnamon roll in the pan, and I'm gonna do it like a Danish, so a freestanding roll because that's what I want. I just need to make sure I have enough filling. That's always my issue. Never make enough filling. Like, ever, 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 ever. Now, for something like this, I don't normally measure. No. I would normally just wing it because, I mean, yes, there is just such a thing. There is such a thing as too much butter. However, is there really? But I'm not gonna put too much butter. Reason being, the cheese also has fat in it, so it might be like a oopsie, oily mess. That's the one thing I don't want to happen. So we'll see. I don't think this is gonna be enough, but we'll start with this. This is about 76 grams of butter. That is salted butter. And I'm going to add some garlic because to me, cheese and garlic just go together. No other. There's nothing else. I mean, there probably is something else. Cheese and garlic for me, that's it. That's absolutely it. I have no issues. What we're gonna add, I'm just gonna crush up the garlic with the garlic press. And for me, there's no such thing as too much garlic. Some people might disagree, but I love a good garlic anything. So, we're and then I'm gonna add it. But this is a personal preference. I think I'm gonna add some chili flakes to it just to give it flavor, some color, and also some dried parsley as well. But I think this right here, you can season it anyhow you want, keeping it really still. So garlic, a little bit of salt because the butter is salted, some chili flakes. So just for the taste, and a little bit of dried parsley, most definitely for color. So like when you bite into it, you might not even see anything because everything would have melted away once it's baked. I'm hoping. Okay. After listen, I had such a rough days in these lives because one, yesterday sweet potato was doing what it wanted to do. I don't know, maybe the butter is gonna be like, yeah, I do whatever. When we made the sourdough ravioli, my goodness, it was just too much. So we're just gonna do that. If you're just joining, don't forget to vote for what you want to see baked. You can always come back and watch the live if you missed it. But vote for what you want me to make tomorrow so that we can have a fun time. Or you can suggest something in the comments. Let me know what you would like to see. Because honestly, we just make whatever. I can come up with suggestions, but if someone says, hey, how about you try this? Then it's that. Okay? I mean, I never thought I would be making pasta with sourdough. It's a weird one for me, but it's flour, so why not? So I have one, two, three, four, five, six, seven, eight. Okay. Seven. Garlic cloves. That's a personal preference. I might do too much garlic. I might have to add more butter. We'll see. Just adding in the garlic. We're gonna mix this up and give it my dough some time so that it can be nice and rested and ready to go. And we should not have keyword should not be phrase. Have an issue because baby, these live streams, they do whatever they want. These products, my sourdough has a mind of its own. Like it's too much. Way too much. But it's okay. We're gonna get it done. Also, don't be shy. Say hello in the chat. Let me know where you're watching from. If you're shy, that's okay. Thanks for watching. But there should be enough garlic. Just nice flavor. Everything, like every bite needs to have like a garlic taste. Because the thing is, it is the butter is gonna melt for sure. And the garlic should remain. Should. I don't even know what's gonna happen until it happens. Okay. Yeah, we might we need more butter. That might be enough butter because I just don't want it to be an oily mess because the cheese has its own in it. Right. Add like maybe more garlic more than anything. Telling you, I love good garlic. And okay, so we have about 20 more minutes. But once I'm finished making this filling, we're gonna pull out the dough so that you can see what it would look like once it's fully rested. It's not necessarily going to be airy, bubbly, and jiggly, but it would have doubled in size. Sometimes even triple, depending on how warm your area is. What I like about the dough, this dough, I think it's very giving. What I've been noticing, because sometimes, honestly, I'm like, oh, I forgot. So, and I'm still able to make a nice roll. My cinnamon roll never ever fail me when I use this recipe for them. So the dough to me, as of right now, it's a little forgiving. Love it. Might say that right now, and then this dough is like, yeah, you thought it. That's exactly what always happens. Every time I give it a nice little compliment, here it goes trying to embarrass me. So we're gonna try to see if this is gonna work. It should work, honestly, but we'll see. And also, if you're seeing anything in the chat, you may not be seeing it because my chat has been disappearing. I can't even see the poll, so I'm not sure who's voted for what or if anyone even voted. So if someone can let me know who's leading, I would appreciate it because I really can't see the poll. I'm gonna have to tell them about that, or at least be able to see it. This is enough butter. Let's add some. Feels nice and garlicky. Choose it. Again, this is a personal preference. You should be able to. You don't. I shouldn't, but you don't have to add it in the butter. You can add it on top of the finished product because you'll get a nice color blend. I do have a recipe on my channel for garlic rolls, garlic butter rolls. I'm just, I'm experimenting right now. I mean, for all we know, this might just bake and be one wow. Who knows? Who knows? But I'm here for all of this. Okay, so the butter smelling nice and rich. I'm just gonna wipe down the counter. And honestly, you don't even have to mix it in the butter. You can mix the butter and the garlic, and then once you're spreading your cheese and all that stuff, you can do it that way. I was being extra for no reason. For no reason. I'm gonna grate out my cheese because we still have a little more time. It's about 100 grams of cheese. It might not be enough for some people. I'm just gauging, not that it's going to be enough for me. I just didn't want to cut off too much. But so this is just that's it. But honestly, I don't know. Uh, honestly, I normally would have used my food processor. 'Cause I don't like grating anything. I don't. Anytime I break my fingers, damage my nails, because I want to be able to just do this and do it quickly and not have to think about hurting myself. Just use a food processor. Any chance I get is what I do. But you grate this, grate it however you want. And again, this is cold. Like I put it in my freezer because I had it out at room temp for like maybe 5, 10 minutes, and the cheese started to melt. And I don't want it melting before I put it in my, because then it will just be a sticky mess, honestly. Cheese clumps together. But yes, if you are just joining me, this is a 7-day sourdough series. We do it every week, sometime in a month. So you got 1 week in a month, 7 days of sourdough. Whatever we bake, we make with discard only. No additional yeast, no baking soda, no baking powder. These are the rules I set for myself because I wanted to see how strong and versatile my sourdough discard was. Because if you leave it up to Google, these people tell you, no, you need to add yeast for a boost for your discard. Sure, you might need a boost. However, after my first go around with making with sourdough, I decided I wasn't gonna add anything else. So now we're here. So we have our cheese ready. You can see we have our butter ready, which is already melting. So I'm gonna sneak this into freezer just a little bit. It's already melting, and I want it spreadable, yes, but I have to roll out the dough itself too. So I'm just gonna put this in the freezer a little bit, then 5 minutes, and we'll see. Cheese as well, because I just don't want it to melt. I don't want any more embarrassing moments, okay? I don't. So now I'm gonna show you. We have 13 more minutes left on the timer for original dough that I made. And I'll show you. So I made this dough prior to the live starting, just so that you get an idea of what your dough should look like once it's rested. Okay, so this is what the bottom. See, it's pulling away from the side. Fingers crossed, because it cannot be back. I'll be honest anymore. This is what your dough should look like. Okay, I'm gonna wash my hands and then I'm gonna touch it just so that you see how sticky or tacky it should feel for you. There's nothing. Maybe one or two places, like right here, right? But it's fine. Hi, Kurt. You should see, but that's just because of the heat that's here. My oven, listen, I don't know about this oven. Has a hot spot. Now the light, geez, really warm in there. So I need to pay attention to that. If it's extremely warm or hot, I feel like you should just leave it in the oven without the light on, like half the time. This seems like it's, but we'll make it work. Okay, so I'm gonna lightly dust, lightly, but enough to cover because the dough is warm, which is the issue we had yesterday, right? Because the dough is warm, it might have a tendency of sticking. And you just need a little bit of flour. And I know this looks like a lot, but it's really not a lot. You just need a little bit of flour just so that it can absorb and not stick to your surface. Because you do not want that to happen. Yes, my dough is very warm. I can tell just by the way it's behaving. Now, it's not warm enough to cook it, but it's warm enough to make it stick. You see that little skin right there? That was just the contact from the air just now, right? So I'm just gonna start from, right? Then we're gonna roll it out. But I'm also giving it time to cool. So if it feels really warm, just, I would say play with it just so that it has time to just cool down and then you can roll it out however you feel like it. Right? And it's warm and it's sticky. My oven is off. Come on. Jeez. Okay. So now that we're gonna roll, you don't have to do all those double folds. I just did that because my dough is really warm. It really is. So you're just gonna take your roller pin and you're just gonna roll it out. You know, some people say be gentle. I am never gentle. Rough. I am a little bit rough with my dough. I am. If I had taken it out of the bowl, it wasn't sticky. I honestly would have just rolled it out. Would not have done any of the folds or anything like that. I just would have rolled it out and it would be fine. But the dough is warm because my oven is on one today. All I did was have, but not sure why that is. But it'll be fine. So you're gonna roll it out. Honestly, if you wanted to turn these into like buns, you could. This recipe is good for that too. But I know it should work. It should work. This will probably make a nice pizza too, but not one with like a bubbly crust. It'll just be just nice. I really like this dough. The dough is very versatile. Focaccia, not so much. But a nice like mini pizza, something like that. Dinner rolls. And can you see? No, you can't even see that here. But it's pulling back. because it needs some time to rest. Now you don't want it too thin. If it's too thin, you're not going to be able to roll it up and it's going to start tearing like it's doing here. And it's not even thin. Stop embarrassing me. But I'm rolling it out big enough because I want to do different things with my rolls. I want to do a freestanding roll and I want to do a roll in my baking pan. So we have that here. So I get a brush. Look at the excess flour, a little. Now I can take my butter out of the freezer and it should be fine. So, oh, hello, T. I'm beating up the dough because the dough is out here just acting up. The dough's acting up, girl. So this was my garlic, chili flakes, a little bit of parsley in here, butter mixture. So I'm just softening up the butter just enough to spread and not sear. Okay, maybe I'll be kinder to the dough, not yell at it, because you missed the dumpling of our bread. Okay, I cut it, girl. That's gonna be a whole video in the fall. Sweet potato sourdough bread, and I'm gonna make it work. Because the one that we did on the live stream, no ma'am, no bueno. That was a dumpling. That wasn't even a dumpling. Disappointed. I am gonna use my palette knife. Uh, that is just a fancy word for something to spread your dough. It's not have a palette knife. Okay. You can use back of the spoons. I'm still searching for the one palette knife I want, which I thought it was up here, but it's not. You can use back of the spoon. You can use whatever you have, whatever you want. I like using my offset spatula palette knife. To be, I know. Terry, we're just gonna say a moment of prayer, a moment of silence for it, but it will be fine. Okay, it better be fine. So I'm gonna add the butter. Now the offset spatula I was using, but I wanted to use, it's just a little bigger than this one, so it'll give me much more spread coverage. But it's okay. We're just gonna use this. And we're gonna go all the way. I think this is enough butter. Just eyeball it. But we're gonna try to spread it all the way to the edge. Because one, I don't want to waste my dough. And two, I want to make sure every single bite of this dough, right? That's a big clump of garlic. Some garlic and butter. Too big. That'll make me very mad biting into that. It's like, what is this? Kind of like cloves. You know, people put cloves and stuff, and they're like, yo, you could have told me there were cloves. No problem, babe. I do appreciate you showing up, though. I do appreciate it. MVP, okay? But we're gonna spread. Now, I will tell you to move quickly, okay? Be like me, because the butter is melting. This isn't like cinnamon, where the cinnamon soaked up the butter. Butter has nothing to hold on to here. So it's just starting to melt. Because it is warm in Toronto. You will hear me say that a couple times because it's very hot. Now I'm just trying to cover up the little tear holes here because I know you're probably going to see it on the other side. So we're going to have to roll this really carefully. Done. So what? And like I said, you can, instead of rolling it out like a cinnamon roll, you can have mini balls, roll those out, the mini balls out, and then you can roll it up. Boom. Done. Put your filling in, put your cheese in, roll it up. You can do it that way. You can have the mini balls, roll them out like you would if you're making like flatbread, right? Baste it with the butter and then put it in a little pan as if you were going to make a pull apart. So many different things. You don't always have to do it like this. I'm just doing it like this because I want it. There's the difference. And that's what I love about it. It's very the dough itself is very versatile. I've made cinnamon rolls with it. I've made bread rolls, mini dinner rolls. Okay, butter. I get the message. Stop talking. We're working. What is in the cheese? Now, you can probably put whatever cheese you want. Using the cheese that I have because that's how we do. We use what we have. We make something special. Nothing fancy, but you could get fancy with the cheese. You can try, Parmesan works. You could definitely add like provolone. You could add whatever. Do I need more cheese? I feel like I need more cheese. It's not giving. I feel like I need more cheese. But make it work with what you have. Because if your budget is limited like mine, maybe you make the best out of what you can. I need more cheese. More cheese. Because there's no way I'm gonna be biting into something and it's just bread. Cheese. 100% need more cheese. So I wanna fill out here, here. And that's the thing. I just need some more cheese. Yeah, this is a cheddar and mozzarella mix, I think. Yeah. But use the right. You want to use mozzarella? Okay. Or barbecue? Whichever. You just use what you got. Thank you for reminding me. So we're gonna use grater. And I had just used this, so in case you're watching this, you're like, "Oh, just put it there, okay? I just put it there. But I want the space for enough cheese for it to be covered. I want it to be cheesy. You can even try getting like a really, really melty cheese. Like probably like a really good mozzarella or any of the melty cheese and see if it would melt. Not melt, but when you actually pull it apart, if it's still warm, if you're gonna get the cheesy effect, right? You can do whatever you want. Whatever you want. Just don't forget to vote, guys. Again, today I still can't see. I apologize to the dogs. I still can't see the polls. So I just need you to let me know who's in the lead. So I have an idea of what we're gonna be making tomorrow. This is looking good. This is looking good. Rolling part now. It's the difficult part. Okay. Cheese. Cheese. Dog in the market. Okay. technical, everything will have a bite of cheese and a bite of garlic something. So now here, I like using my pellets and my bowl scrapers for ease. All right, so you can see where I'm starting from. So rolling, I like to start really small so that I can get everything, like flavor wise, filling wise. You know, this cheese is already melting. Shit. Again, I apologize for the dogs. They are not mine. They're my neighbors. If you let them, they will bark all day. If you let them. So we're gonna roll. And I try to keep it circular. Sometimes I don't have a lot of luck with it. So I just use my bowl scraper, then scraper, and especially if it's stuck, bottom, I use it to help release it. Remember all that flour we added at the bottom? Yeah, it's to make sure it does not stick at the bottom. Now, if you want to spread out more, you can. Just, I just want to make sure there's filling in everything. Try to tighten it up as well. But again, this is how I want to make my cheese roll. Maybe I should have challenged myself a little today. Probably reserve that for a video. I could do another garlicky cheese roll and I can show you the other two that you probably want. It's a round one. It's not that it's sticking. I wanna round it so that it's good. I need to come out and see on the side. 'Cause you know when you get the end pieces, the middle part is always filled. It's the end piece that sticks you. So we're gonna, yes, it takes a while to roll for me because I want to make sure it's tight and everything is good. And we're reaching the section that is actually stuck. So I just use this one. It has like a little pointed edge just to lift it so that it's easier. Because sometimes you roll it and it's just a little too thin, so it gets stuck to the bottom. I say use what you have to help you, right? And yes, I already know my ends. It's not gonna have a lot of meat to them, but that's okay. For eating stable, no issue. Honestly, even if you wanted to put like pizza sauce in here, just a little bit, you could. Just to spruce it up. Call it a pizza roll. Put some pepperoni in that bad boy. Done. See, stuff right here. That's where it's for. Anything you do, honestly, with cooking, I may cook simple meals, but sometimes I love like just experimenting. Right now, I'm in a place where I am using everything that I have at my disposal. because of my limited budget to make things fun. And it's a good place to be. Because now you're like, you're hungry, you don't have no food, but it's like, you sure you don't have any food? You just don't want to think about making food. Oh, baby. Okay. This is where we're going to have a little bit of a, I have an issue. Where's my flour? Not really an issue. I'm going to, I'm just going to wet right here. That helps to seal it. Not that you would need it for this like dough recipe, you wouldn't. But I'm doing it because it wasn't a clean rectangle or shape. So I'm doing it and I'm just gonna flip it up here. That's how I do it when things aren't going my way. And then we're gonna kind of make it come down. It's doing its own thing. So I wanna I wanna be able to just do a soft roll. Nothing major. Just a soft one to get a shape like this, right? Just the soft one. Just to get a roll. You don't need to do it. I don't always do it, but today I need to do it. Just keep going. And then what I also like to do is do that because get to see where the close. Because this side this looks small, this looks big, then that looks small. So then if you want, you can roll it just so that everything looks uniform. Again, it's not necessary. It really isn't necessary. It's just something that I like doing personally, just to help me, right? Now, if you had done a better job than me by putting like all your butter and your cheese, making sure everything touches the outer corner, every single thing here will have butter, cheese, garlic, whatever. Now we're gonna cut it. We're gonna put 4 in a pan, and then we're gonna bake the rest free fall. So just on a baking sheet, that's it. And I believe those you have to cut differently than the ones in the actual pan. But we're gonna see. Okay. Some people use Q-tips, Q-tips. Dental floss, that's what it is. Some people use dental floss. Some people use knives. Some people use their bench scrapers. You can use whatever you want as long as it's sharp enough to give you cuts, a nice cuts with no issues. You'll be fine. I like using the serrated knife because it just gives you a nice clean cut. But you can use a chef knife and sharp. You can use. Okay, so we're gonna probably put about 4 in here. For the big nice big ones. Let me see. I probably need to make a little bit more garlic butter because I want to bake the top of it. So I will. But we have time to do that while this rests. Whatever. So I'm just using, what is it, the 8x8? Yeah, this is the 8x8 by 2. So it's about 2 inches tall. So that's how high the dough should be. Because baby, Fred and his children, they do the most, okay? They absolutely do the most. Okay, so for size wise, sometimes I eyeball, sometimes. Like today I'm eyeballing. Now it looks like it's even-ish. Yeah. So I just mark it so that when I'm actually ready to cut, I cut confidently and not iffy and thinking. That's usually how I do it. So this is the serrated knife. I do that. A nice clean cut. If it's still hooked up to it, there we go. Right? Now again, like I said, you can add some color into this. I added some chili flakes, but you're not gonna get the color in here. But add color. Add whatever color you want. Just to give yourself a nice, it would be a nice look. It would be a nice look, honestly. Put the vibrancy. I had chili flakes. I added parsley in there. But again, you use whatever you have. This is what the roll would look like. Honestly, I could probably bake it like this as well, right? It's not experimenting. Now, by the looks of this is already, there's a size difference. Do I care? No. If this was for an order, it would be precise. This is live streaming, personal consumption. But if you want to make it like really precise, use a ruler so that you can get a nice even layer, no issues. Again, I only use the serrated knife because this is always my go-to knife to use, right? But I'll be honest with you, you can use anything. As you can see, we have 3 different sizes. Okay, too big, too small. It's fine. So what I'm gonna do with this one, I'm gonna cover it with the saran wrap, and I'm gonna pop it in the oven with the light on. And we're probably gonna try to let this rest for about 30 minutes. But essentially, you want it to rest until it's doubled. Right? And you'll know when it's doubled, right? Because you'll see it. Now, for the other one that I want to do, I want to honestly make this as kind of like a Danish roll, right? So for that to happen, it would have to be cut a little smaller so that once it's laid flat, it can just open up and you'll see everything. In my head, it works. Okay? It usually works. I'm just tired of my dough embarrassing me. Okay? They bougie. For real. So that's what we're gonna try to do. If I have any leftovers, I could probably do something else. So parchment lined baking pan. If you have silpat, you can use it. No issues there for me. I like parchment, quick and easy. This feels like it's stretching, honestly. That's okay. 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 Let me see if I have any questions. Probably got a cleaner cut than the spray cut. Maybe, maybe not. If I can find it. So you can have anything. I'm just using serrated knife, but that's just me. Now, I want these to be at least, so make sure you can see. There we go. At least probably this, right? Because that way it will literally like bake like a Danish. Yeah, I think that should be good inside. Like in theory, it should work. Because I've done it before. It should work. It should work. Go on. It should work. Why am I repeating this? Because these past few days have been very, very entertaining. Might be a little too small, but this is what experiments do, right? So basically, nice clean cut. This is the size of it. Have it here, and you're just gonna put it flat. Give it some space, right? Just to spread. And if it happens, if something like this happens, just use the scissors if you have one, just to separate it here, or a knife, right? Just go back to round ish. If they stick together, it doesn't matter. I'm trying to decide which side I want exposed. This side is fine. Does not matter if they stick together, it'll be fine. They're also very pliable, so if you wanted to, I guess, put a shape onto it, that will be fine as well. Right? So you have that. So I'm gonna put two more so that we have. So use what you have. You have a knife, serrated knife, something sharp. You want to use dental floss, like some people do, go right ahead. Not a big issue. You just use what works for you, right? And you just once if it's out of shape, you just kind of use your hand to get it back around, like so, and you should be good. So I like about this, each bite has some cheese, it has some garlic, but once it relaxes, it just will get the shape that you're looking for. So this is also going to be covered with saran wrap and put in the oven. So that's what the time. So roughly about 30 minutes, roughly, honestly, we'll see. Because it's rested, no. that even if you bake it, it will slightly puff, but the longer you rest, so if you want to rest it for an hour, as long as it hasn't doubled in size, you're well within your right for the hour. That's what I've noticed in doing this. But it just needs time to rest. Now for this big guy here, it's like maybe I'll bake it like this. No, that would be like a wasted dough. So I'm thinking we're going to, in my mind, it works. Because why wouldn't I experiment? So I don't know if you've ever seen those like coffee cakes, and coffee cake does not mean a cake. It's like a wreath, like a pastry wreath. This is soft, so it might not be the perfect dough for it. But if I can like roll this out little, I could probably get minis, or I can just roll this out and like try to. I know what I'm trying to say. I'm trying to do, but I don't know how it's gonna work. Because essentially, I want it to be the mini rolls. We could probably do minis. This is small enough to do minis. We can do minis. We could probably put this in uh, yeah, the pie pan. Do it. I don't think it's gonna work for my person. I really don't think it's gonna work for what I wanted to do. Because what I wanted to do was like cut it in the middle, slice it, and kind of bring it around itself. Because this is soft, I don't think like not the product right now. The end result is nice and soft. I don't think that's gonna work. So I'm thinking you can just make minis, and you can get big ones, little ones, out of this one thing. Yeah, I think that can work. They're gonna be smaller than the other. I'm just looking for my backpack. I want something I can't find it. Because I don't want to waste the dough in an experiment that may or may not come to fruition, right? So we're just gonna use a smaller these guys and that, and it should be good. And I'm gonna butter the bottom just a little, so it should be fine. Mix up a little garlic, just a little garlic butter for the top, so that you can baste the products once they're baked. Yeah, we can do a little smaller version of it because in my head, like I know what I want to accomplish with it, but I doubt that it will actually come through. Not overthinking it, it's just that because of the shape that it's in, it's not gonna work. Maybe I'll just kind of just slice it down the middle, bake it, it's gonna ooze out. So we're gonna try the smaller version. This is the tail end of it. So even if I didn't like roll it, it would still be smaller than the others just because it was thick. Oh, I'm excited because it smells good. It just needs to hurry up and be done. We're gonna put the little one. Look at this. This is what I was saying. Make sure when you roll it, you roll everything up to the end. That way, every single portion of your dough, so you don't waste the dough, is filled. And we're just gonna put this one in the middle. Because why not? Because why not? I mean, it'll work technically. And if it doesn't work, or you could bake them like this, right? You can just do whatever. You don't have to do, you know what? Let's bake them like this and see what happens. You bake them like that and just see how it turns out. They might still spread and be big, but because of how it was cut, it'll be fine. Closer. You can bake them round, you can bake them however, but this is an experiment. Clearly, this is clearly an experiment. So a nice little sunflower, nice little garlic, cheesy flour, whatever, and just need that space for one right here. And it should be fine. I mean, this could probably be in the middle. The middle probably should have like a nice cheesy one, but honestly, who cares? Just want to see if it's gonna bake like this. It's probably gonna fill out in here, which is also fine. It is what it is. Experiment, experiment, experiment. Okay. We are going to also cover this. Let it rest. Time is going for 30 minutes. It might not be warm enough, but I will try to make it work. I will try. Just putting this in the freezer because it is warm, it's melty. Then I already put the bowl up. Yes. We're just gonna add some butter just so that we have it for the top. So it's gonna bake. And I'm gonna slightly turn my oven on to like less than 150 just to get some warmth going because it's not warm in there right now. The warmth is just gonna help it, not cook it or anything, just long so that we can make everything on the line and be fine. Yeah, because we definitely need some time. Because you would think that it being warm here, it just doesn't need that much time, but Fred is out here doing the most. Okay, we've never had this much issue. No, we've never had these issues with this young man, and he's out here doing the most right now. I don't appreciate it. So I'm gonna figure out if it's gonna work because it's gonna work. It's just I don't understand why Fred is acting the way he's acting right now. 'Cause awesomeness is I'm gonna need this. I have my butter ready. I'm gonna make the little garlicky butter. That's gonna have like the chili flakes also again, the cheese and spinach for flavor. But before we do that, I'm going to show you. We refreshed him yesterday on live, and this is him today. He's grown. He's sinking now because he peaked right here. As you can see. Yeah, this is better. He peaked early this morning here, and now he's completely deflating. Like now he's eating himself, which is okay, but it's making it difficult to just leave him alone. Because now I gotta pay attention. Because once he's peaked, it's gonna take this starter about 3 to 4 days to eat itself, more or less. So I know I have that much time before he starts springing like I'm gonna say water, but like alcohol or even like molding. This This is what we use today. It smells very yeasty, right? Thing is, I don't know if he is actually as active as he once was. So maybe we need to give little Fred Jr. a break and work with Frederica because he's usually bubbly. Like if I leave this bad boy out here on the counter, it's usually bubbly. There's usually like a lot of life happening. Have you seen the bubbles right there? That's usually everywhere. This is new territory. He's never done this. He's always pretty active, pretty bubbly. So I'm gonna just mix it up. So I'm gonna mix him up and we're gonna give him a break tomorrow. We have a lot of sourdough discard to go through. And I wanna make sure it's good. Because right now, like it's super runny. I have this issue with Junior. Well, we're gonna give Junior a break. Maybe Junior's like, Mom, tag me out. I'm just mixing it up to make sure everything, like even if I'm getting rid of the bubbles right now, that's fine. I just want to make sure everything's fully incorporated because we added discard from the refresh yesterday. So maybe he didn't like it. I don't know. Which is why I am sitting here hoping that our growth works. Because the only way it doesn't work is if it actually needs more time. So more than what we can do on. So if that's the case, if I check after 30 minutes and it's like it's not working, live today. Just for the baking process. They might need time, you know? Because even though he's super active, he might be sluggish. And since there's nothing, like no added anything, that might be the issue. He's sluggish and he just doesn't want to do any work right now. Listen, this man needs to understand we need to pay some bills, okay? And this is how we're paying our bills. So he better work with me. But we're gonna make it work. So if I find that after 30 minutes we need more time, we'll have a brief intermission and then we'll come back and finish the live because he might need it. I'm thinking like about the next year, okay? Definitely might need it. 100%. No question. I already feel it. But I'm hoping that we don't. I'll have some warmth, which should boost the energy to say, boom, let's grow. Sorry, I'm just cleaning this up. This bothers me. I don't like when it takes on stuff. Because sometimes I feel like that affects it. You know what I'm saying? Like I feel like the container just needs to be cleaned enough so that nothing actually affects the microbes. But I also keep it in the fridge. The fridge is cold, so maybe right now there's a temperature shock that it's not liking, but there's still bubbles in there. It's not a lot of bubbles that I'm used to. Apologies. So we'll see. I'm gonna put this in the fridge. Tomorrow we're gonna do Frederica because there is no way. She's still a little more active, but she's been dormant for weeks because I haven't used her in almost a month, honestly. This one is the first one that always gets cold because he's the firstborn. He has a lot of responsibility. So we're gonna tag the other one in for tomorrow. So depending on who wins or what we're making, we'll see. And I also like to put a container in because when I say it's active, it's active. It gets to want when you have overflow situations happening. It's not something that you want to clean up in the fridge. So keep a bowl. Keep Fred Jr. in a bowl. So we're gonna make our yeah, it looks like it's working. We're gonna make a little bit of a garlic topping just so that I have it ready. So that once they go into the oven, I can brush it with the garlic butter, seasoned butter, whatever butter. Because it's gonna be buttery. Don't want it to be an oily mess. The only thing. I don't mind it being buttery. I just don't want it to be an oily mess. Okay, the oven seems to be working. I was a bit worried. Yeah, seems to be working. So this is gonna be the top. I'm gonna use that. Definitely gonna add it. It's just it's not even I'm not even trying to season it. I'm just trying to give it some color on the top. You know? It's a little bit of color. It works. It helps fit the final product when you see it. It's like, ooh, that looks good. And a little salt. If you have Parmesan cheese, if you want to add some, you can, which is good. Sorry, I had an ants infestation the other day to take out my plate. I don't even know. Like I just saw one just now, so I gotta make sure. Summer, so now they're all out. So yes, let's make sure we have everything ready for when this these like three different pans. It's working. So I make sure. Now I'm not gonna open the thing anymore because I don't want the warmth to escape. And I have a bowl over the hole, so it should be fine. If anyone can tell me who's leading the votes, I'd appreciate it. Really can't see. I don't even know why. It's not even showing up. But I'll probably see that. It's just, nice little thing. Just gonna put a dollop on it. It'll help with the browning. Because this dough, this one doesn't have any sugar or milk, the browning is not gonna happen as fast as one that would have the sugar or the milk, right? But it'll happen. Just needs a little time. This is good. Probably brush it on. I'm gonna add some dried garlic to it. Garlic powder. Just a little bit, and we should be good. I'm so excited because after yesterday's disappointment, disappointed, honestly. I really have to figure out that bread because that was worse than the strawberry muffin. And to me, the strawberry muffins were bad. It's like at this point in the game, we need to be up. Okay? We need to be getting it done, doing what we need to do, having no issues outside of it being super warm or anything like that. Okay, so we have about 8 minutes roughly, but you'll be able to see which ones are ready. Like the one that was just put in, that looks ready already. Like it does. But it just needs time. Time is what we need. Which is why I don't understand why I talk about this week. You don't have the time. The bread takes time. It needs time to rest. Because if you do it too soon, it's a hot mess. Because it doesn't have yeast, you can't even cheat. You know what I'm saying? So, and I'm loving using naturally leavened products. I love it. I really do. Like I'm not gonna say I'm not gonna go back to eating store-bought bread, but I'll think twice before I do, honestly. It feels different. It feels different. So I could just need a little, but we're good. We have 8 more minutes for that. It should be good. And then maybe our next live series, so next month, we get back to doing some sweet stuff. 'Cause how do you top donuts? Really top donuts and brownies. I don't know if I can top that. It would have to be very, very. You guys are probably gonna have to come up with the ideas because I've already made all the things I like to eat. Already made it. So you might be a viewer's choice. You tell me what we're making instead of voting for what I feel like we should be making. Because we did cobblers, brownies, hush puppies. We've done fish cakes, crab cakes, banana bread, banana fritters, carrot cake, muffins, cones. We did quite a few things. We really didn't make pizza. That's the given. Tried to make bread. Bread didn't work out. Okay. So yeah, it might be a viewer's choice in August. Because maybe everything I wanted to be. That was the brownie. Brownie was it for me. That was a really good. Did I not tell you the butter is gonna be oozing out all over? What it does? It's gonna be ooze fest up in here. My goodness. Okay, it's working. The added heat is working. There's butter. Oh, I'm trying to think. Oh wait, because of the oils in there's oil in cheese. Now I'm thinking, is there a way to make this without having the excess oil at the bottom? Would it just be I just instead of using the butter, I mix like the cheese and the garlic and then sprinkle it, roll it up, and then only put butter on top. But then to me, the inside would be dry. You know what I'm saying? Just like maybe I don't even need this. They just need to sprinkle some seasoning on it, like just to get the added color. Because there's oil everywhere. Well, it's butter. But if I go back to thinking about like cinnamon rolls, it sucks up into the dough, right? So we might have a little bit of excess oil, which is the butter, but I have a feeling that it will actually just absorb into the dough as it's baking, which will give it a crusty exterior and not burnt, just crusty. So think of flaked pastry, anything buttery. Like think of a croissant. Like see how crunchy and flaky it is. I'm not saying this is gonna be flaky, but you'll probably get a nice crunch somewhere around the top or bottom, depending on what the butter decides to do. So we have about 3 more minutes, which before they look like they're ready. I just rotated a few so that they could be done. The ones at the bottom, the pinwheels, they look awesome. Those are probably gonna go first for me. They look amazing. And the dough that we made on live also looks good. If you are just joining, we are doing 7 days of sourdough. Today is all about cheesy rolls, cheesy bread, whatever you want to call it. That's what it's about. Okay. Tomorrow, I'll know once the live is done what we're making or what we should be making. And yeah, every day you come back here, you vote for what you want me to make, and you watch me make it, good or bad. Okay. We see everything here, really good, really bad. Okay. Some things are just embarrassing for me that and they're living on the internet. I can't. So that is what we have going on. A few more minutes just to wait for this. We'll show you what your dough is looking like. The one that's been resting for an hour and change. And the only reason why I'm taking it out is because I want to give these guys just more room to do what they do. So far, this is the dough. I don't have a pressured air bubble just yet. So it's taking its time to rise. It's only been an hour and change. This is what the bottom is looking like, right? But it's warm. So even if I leave this at room temp right now, it should be fine, which I'm going to do for the rest of the time. Now the problem is, I don't know when I'm going to have time to actually make anything with this today. 'Cause I have a busy day. I have a tight schedule today that I'm trying to meet. So what I would probably do is turn that into a cinnamon roll. I have a thing for cinnamon rolls. Okay. I'm not gonna turn it into another garlic cheesy nothing. I want cinnamon rolls. Every dough I make, I really try my best to turn it into a cinnamon roll. Like the dough from yesterday, the bread was trash. However, it be okay. It might be a good cinnamon roll as is. I don't know, but the dough is in the fridge, right? It's been in the fridge since the live yesterday. So maybe that slowed down fermentation. Maybe I'm gonna be able to roll it out because the dough is nice and cool. I don't know. We'll see. It's just one of those things. I can show you the dough right now. This is the one that we made live yesterday. Cinnamon roll, not the cinnamon roll, but the sweet potato dough. The one we baked live just didn't cut it. This one, it's been in the fridge overnight, still in the fridge. It is, it's good. So I'm thinking that I should be able to roll this out because it's nice and cold and turn it into a cinnamon roll, right? When I do that, I'm gonna make a short out of it because I wanna see if I can redeem myself with that dough. Because then I'll say, hey, this dough is not good for this, but it's good for this. I don't think y'all understand how embarrassing yesterday was for me. It's like the lowest of lows. I showed y'all the bread. The bread wasn't even done. It was undercooked, but it was already burnt at the bottom. It's such an embarrassing moment, but it's also a learning moment. It's like, okay, I know it's 100% hydration, can't do it. So I'm going to, like I said, and I've been saying it because it's going to happen, I'm going to revamp that recipe so that you can get an actual good sweet potato sourdough recipe. And I'm going to make a video out of it. Because one, I like sweet potato anything, and I want to make sure I'm able to make a bread out of it. And two, with that dough, as is, recipe as is, nothing changed. I'm gonna roll it out. I'm trying to turn it into a cinnamon roll. And if it works, then I know that after resting for an hour or two at room temperature, you put it in the fridge and just let it chill in the fridge overnight. Right? That's what I'm gonna be doing if it works out. But we'll see if it works out because it's gonna be a short. I cannot. Okay. I was so embarrassed yesterday. I really was. It was so chaotic. The ravioli we made ravioli on Monday. Yesterday? Yesterday was Monday. Sunday, we made ravioli. Honestly, 10 out of 10. The filling, 10 out of 10. It was made with tofu, lentil tofu with broccoli and cheese in it. 10 out of 10. I love it. Okay. I made the tofu filling, not the filling, but the tofu, the lentil tofu the day before on live. It was awesome. Like it works. It's really good. It's versatile. You can do whatever you want. It's a lot of work. If somebody else can make the ravioli and I'll eat it, I'm down. Okay. So we have, not that we don't have time. Okay. So I'm going to show you the pinwheels. See all that butter? A lot of butter. These are the pinwheels. These are the ones that went in last. But as you can see, they're looking like they ready. This is what they look like. And they should bake up really nicely. Now, this is probably not going to get, I don't know, I haven't decided on the layer which one's going to get it. It might just be too much butter happening here, right? But I am going to add some seasoning. Maybe just a little dollop right here. Maybe not. Just a little dollop in the center. Nothing, not a lot, because I would just leave the butter pool, right? It melted in the butter pool. So these pinwheels are going to be, I feel like once they're baked, they're going to bake up nicely. Or they might be the same and just look like this. I don't know. I am not going to predict how they're going to look because I'm going to be honest with you. My dough is doing whatever it wants to do. It's present. But these ones are looking like they're ready to go. I'm just checking to see the bounce back. Because again, it does not bounce back like a typical yeast dough for me. However, if it's properly fermented and properly rested, you should get something out, right? So I'm gonna do a little mix of it. I'm gonna add a little dried parsley and some chili flakes. This is just for color, has nothing to do with flavor. It's an added, it adds contrast to the texture and flavor. The spice, chilies, right? So we're gonna make that happen here. Just a little bit, nothing that. See the butter already melted, which is fine. But nothing, nothing serious, just to give color. That's all you're looking for. If you don't want to add it, you don't have to. It's not mandatory. This is just me experimenting with what I have and making it work. So these are the pinwheels. I don't know why I threw away the stuff. But I'm gonna keep them covered just a smidge. Because I have to take those free. Other ones because we have to preheat the oven. And so this is the other design type I did, which I think is cute. But I think it looks fine. The big design, but they're fine. I think it's cute. I think it turned out good, right? The only thing that's missing is if the middle one had like really cheesy goodness, you know? But it's okay. It's okay. I think they turned out perfect. So all that pooling that you're seeing, that honestly is just the butter. And baby, we gonna add more. Okay? Is it too much butter? It might be. But it's okay. Now, if you like egg washing, maybe, but I'm not egg washing. Whatever color comes out of this is the color I'm going to be using. And the good thing is, if you bake it and it doesn't have a nice golden hue, but it's cooked all the way through, that's okay. Because when you reheat it, you're going to reheat it in the oven, and that's going to cook it some more and give it more color. Because it's already cooked. You're just reheating it. So I'm just adding some of this seasoned butter here. There's no garlic in this one because there's a lot of garlic present in the actual filling. And the fact that it's oozing out, everything is going to have a nice taste of garlic. Like everything. Okay? I made sure to put a lot of garlic and a lot of butter. Don't mind that some of these don't actually have cheese in them. These are the end. Some of these are the end pieces. However, you make it work. You make it work. And that's all I'm trying to do here. I'm trying to learn sourdough, discard. Just trying to learn it. Trying to make sure, I know what I'm doing. Because it's a learning process. I think sourdough it's been difficult because learning to, excuse me, trying to figure out the signs and all that stuff, it's a little different for me. It's not difficult, it's just a little different. Okay, so the pinwheels are ready. These are whatever. A little flower circle, whatever. It's fine. And the last one would be the big ones. Okay? So we're gonna turn the oven on. These are the little big rolls here. These guys look like they're ready. There's a little bit of a size difference because I didn't cut them to precise measurements. Like this is small, this is smaller than this one, and then these two are the same size. And then if you look right here, this is tearing right here because there was a certain portion of my dough that was thinning. So when I was actually spreading the butter, it was actually tearing, and I can tell you it's probably right here. Now, how do I suspect this is going to bake? I don't know. This is going to tear a lot more, but it might come up in the middle. You never know. Okay. So this is also going to get some butter on top because, again, You can never have enough butter. Just so you know, it'll just melt all over. That's my hope. The bottom, yes, is filled with seasoned garlic butter. So, worst case scenario, the butter stays there. But if my calculations are correct, the butter will actually soak up into the bread once it's baked. And then you'll have a delicious cheesy roll. And for me, this doesn't even have enough cheese in it. Probably needed a lot more. It probably needed the whole block. Okay? Gonna add this. You just want to give it a little color. And then we're just gonna bake everything. That's it. We're gonna bake everything. I can already tell you right now, this bad boy right here, this is about to be my favorite. And they all came from the same dough. I'm telling you. Okay. So I'm just waiting for the oven to heat up. We're preheating it. And then we're gonna bake every single thing. They may finish at different times, which is okay. So you'll just have to watch your oven. I'm gonna say about 10 to 15 minutes is your guide, like 10 to 15, but it might be done in less. Especially if your oven is really hot. Like mine has a hot spot. So we'll see. And again, you can use whatever cheese you like. I just use what I had, which is the marble cheddar. You just use whatever you have to make it work. I've made rolls like this in the past, just regular yeast rolls with Parmesan. But Parmesan, melts away and it blends in. So I like having color because even if the cheese melts, I can still see that there's cheese in there. So I don't feel like I'm not getting what I said I was making. But yeah, this should be interesting. I'm telling you, the pinwheels are already my thing. These are mine. This is gonna be cute. It might just puff up into one ball. And these are gonna just bake right here as is. No issues. You already know. So I'm gonna add some hot water into this. It is flour. Y'all know how hard flour is to get out. Okay, so oven is ready. We're gonna reset the timer. I'm gonna put it for 15 minutes. And then we'll go from there in terms of if 15 minutes is too much, I can gauge it. Because the one thing about baking, you'll start smelling it before you actually pair your timer. So once you start smelling, that would be a good indication that it's almost done or it's looking to be done. Anything like that. You get a nice smell first before you get anything else. But you're also going to get the smell because it's going to hit the oven. And you get all the flavors. But you'll know the smell. It's a baked smell. I don't know how to describe it, but you know the type of smell that you're going to get. It smells like bread. Okay. So, we're going to pop these in. Let's see. I have to position my face in the oven. Okay. So I'm going to put the pinwheels in. I just call it pinwheels because they are smaller than an actual roll, but they look like Danish rolls, but I just call them pinwheels. They're small, right? And then we're going to pop these guys in. And then we're going to pop these guys in. You know what's funny? This one didn't leak as much as the others. That's interesting. So we're popping them all in. Hopefully they can all fit. Don't burn yourself, girl. There we go. Okay, I'm going to turn the light off. They're all in. Timer is set for 15 minutes. It is at it's between 350, so about 375. That's what the oven's at. That might be too hot. I don't want it to burn. So I put it down to 350. So anywhere between 320, 300 and 350 should be fine. Right now, my oven is at 350. Now, if I smell something as if it's burning, I'll turn it down. That's usually what I do. And again, I have a hot spot in my oven if you are new here. So I have to constantly rotate or else everything will burn. And we cannot have that because I cannot be embarrassed again on live stream. It just can't happen. It can't. Okay. So just bear with me. It's baking timer is going. Now, if you're new, we have 7 days of sourdough. This is day number 3. This is cheesy, garlicky sourdough rolls. All sourdough, no yeast, no baking powder, no baking soda, nothing like that. Okay. That's what we're going to be doing for the rest of the week. There's a poll happening right now. Please vote. Vote for what you want to see me make so that we can have some fun. And I'm really thinking that next month, which is August, we're going to have viewers' choice. You guys have to, you got to vote. Not vote. You got to let me know what you want me to make. Because what? I made everything I wanted to make. And my brain is sitting here. I'm like, maybe I can make pretzels. But then I'm like, how do I shape a pretzel? I don't want to embarrass myself on live. This is the thing. I think the only thing I haven't made yet is a cake. I've made like carrot cake, but that's just the name of it, right? I made banana bread. I made muffins. I just haven't actually made like, let's just say a plain vanilla cake. I think the vanilla cake would probably be the most challenging. The chocolate would be fine because the chocolate would probably cover all the imperfections. It really would. The brownies were fine. So I'm thinking, yeah, it has to be viewers first. Because what I'm like, what else am I gonna make? I know I'm gonna make the cereal. If nobody votes for cereal, I'm gonna make cereal here, and I'm gonna have cereal. I can do granola. I don't know what else. What else is there to make? Maybe run down the list of everything, like almost all the baked products, and just try to make sourdough into them. So maybe I'll try to do a sourdough croissant. That is not going to be live streamed. What? Can you imagine? That's going to take. Oh, that's going to take a lot out of me. But I'm just thinking about what we can do because what else is left to make? We've made pasta. We've made bread, cookies, brownies, muffins, fried shrimp, hush puppies. You know, we made quite a few crab cakes. I know this might sound like a broken record, but I gotta let y'all know we made a lot of different things. So I'm interested in other creative things that can be done on the live stream, because some things will actually take a longer time. So we'll see. But I'm smelling the butter and the garlic. I'm gonna try it. I'll put the light on. I don't know. I mean, they look good. They smell good. They look good. Have they grown yet? No. Maybe they won't grow. Listen, I don't know. I just want to make sure it comes out because I need a redemption story. Okay, I cannot have a yesterday happen today. I can't. We can't have that. We can't. But if you're just joining, we are making cheesy garlic rolls with sourdough discard. Only the discard. Everything is in the oven baking. We make 3 different pans, 1 big roll, 1 mini roll, and 1 pinwheel. Or Danish type. They're small. Small and round. They're fine. But I'm excited because I ate some of the rolls yesterday because 1, I was hungry, and 2, they were cooked. And three, they taste good. So that dough has potential. I just don't know. So we're gonna work with, we have two doughs to work with, okay? We're gonna work with the remainder of the sweet potato dough. Again, I'm gonna turn that into cinnamon roll. And then for the other dough that we made today on live, I'm not sure. I'm not sure. Maybe, right? I can, but it's so bready. I don't think it will work. Because I was gonna say maybe I can roll it out, treat it like a croissant type deal, right? Roll it out, slab some butter, do the L fold, the book fold, I mean, roll it out, do some more butter. I should be able to get something nice and flaky, but also fluffy. So maybe I'll do it with that. Not today. I'm just thinking about all the different things I have to do. I don't know. I think that it might work, right? The most, because the only thing I'm concerned about, because it's such a fluffy, soft dough, it might, instead of actually having actual nice flaky layers, it might just have a layer of butter, but like wet dough, but cooked wet dough. I know that doesn't mean anything to you guys, but visually I know what I'm talking about. But I need to figure out what I can do with it, or I just make it into mini rolls, stuff some stuff in it. I don't know. I wonder if I can make steamed dumpling, steamed bread maybe, because the dough is soft. It's a nice soft dough. Like it's really soft and pliable. Like I want to play with it. You know what I'm saying? Like it's really good. So I don't know. Ooh, I smell the oven. Yay! Oh, guys, redemption. I'm happy. I'm super happy. I just have to keep an eye on the ones in the back because burning is something that might happen. So we need to rotate. We need to rotate eventually. But I'm happy because yesterday I was sad, okay? I went to sleep right after. I was depressed. I can't. I have to redeem myself. I do. I really have to redeem myself. So hopefully we get it together and it works. Is it really 12:45? Oh my goodness. Listen, time to beat. Time to beat. I don't know. I feel like the lives are getting longer, which is not a problem, but it's more like, are the lives getting longer or am I getting slower? Am I being slow? Because were they always like this? Always chaotic? Sometimes I like easy and quick things that I can do in less than an hour. But then it's like, no, because the dough takes about 30 to 40 minutes to rest. I can't rush that. Not even if I try to mimic and give it heat as a boost. I still can't rush it, you know? So we'll see. It'll be fine. The smell is amazing. It smells nice and garlicky. And honestly, that's all I care about right now. Redemption. Because yesterday, oh Lord. No, no, no. Yesterday was not a good look. So I'm just gonna rotate. I have to because I don't want them to burn, honestly. But the cheese is oozing. Oh, that would be so good if it's flavored. Like if you flavor it or flavor the cheese or whatever. Season by flavor, I mean season. If you season it nicely. Oh, I'm just looking at it. It smells really good. It looks good. 10 minutes have passed, and these are going to take more than 15 minutes, guaranteed. Guaranteed. Because they look nice and doughy still, but they need color. That's my problem. They need color. That's my only issue. They need color. Color, color, color. I don't care what nothing else. They just need some color. Like so far, as you can you see that? It's looking good. It's looking soaked in butter. It's giving butter, butter, butter. They got bigger, which is good. I'm just adding butter around it so that they can brown. Because after a while, I'm going to put it on broil just to get a nice cheesy top crust, whatever. But these are looking good. But as you can see, all the butter soaked back into it. So you see how it's looking translucent? Like clear? The butter went right back up. That's what that is. The butter went all the way back up. This one, the butter didn't do anything. The butter's just sitting at the bottom, but that's okay. I'm adding some butter to the sides here. These guys are probably going to take a little longer than the little ones, and that's okay, because once the little ones are done, I'll show you. And we should be good to go. But they just need time. You can't rush it, honestly. No matter how I feel, where it's like, ooh, this live is long. You just gotta let it cook out. Cook, rest, whatever. You just have to let it do its thing. Because the one thing you don't want to do is rush something and it's super underbaked, and then you don't want that to happen at all. I know I don't. I'm just gonna add a little more. I don't want to waste my butter. Just to get some color. I know once I get the color, I'm gonna get the crunch, because if I'm not mistaken, this is brown at the bottom. Can you see that? No, you can't. Yeah, it's browning at the bottom. So it should be good. I'm gonna put it on broil a little. Yo, all that was 5 minutes? Did I not just say 10 minutes passed already? We only have 1 more minute for 15 minutes. This is ridiculous. The little ones might be done. I'm just browning them, and then we're gonna leave the big one in because it needs more time. Probably like 20 or 25 minutes. But they smell amazing. They do. I just have to constantly, I know I'm letting out the heat. Trust me, I know. But I have to constantly keep an eye on it because of my hot spot in my oven. But I'm excited. I feel better about this one. I do. I feel better about this one. I do. I do. They smell amazing. The cheese is poking out. It's looking really nice. Listen. I got this. I got this. This is redemption. Because, baby, too much. Okay, let's chat. Oh, yeah. Ooh, babe. Looking good. Looking good. Rotate. And again, if it really looks like it's underbaked, you can always tell. The bottom, you can always tell if it's baked or not. Most of the time. But this is good. This is good. I'm so excited because now I'm like, ooh, I can't wait to eat that. All I already told you, pinwheels, they're they're gonna be my favorite. So 15 minutes pass. We're gonna start it for another 15, but I'm probably only go to 5 or 10 more minutes for the big one. The little one, they should be fine. Oh yeah. Wow. Yep. That's what I'm talking about. That is what I am talking about. Yeah, that broil feature, that's my best friend. Okay. Anything that's not browning overall, I just put the broil on, flash it a little to get the color that I'm looking for. I'm very particular with the colors that I like to see, like golden brown, almost brown, but anything baked and it looks clear and plain, no. Not gonna happen. It'll look underbaked and it doesn't look good and all that good stuff. Let me just check this. Yeah, this just needs a little more time to bake. It's browning nicely, but it's still, to me, it just needs more color. It just needs more color on the top. The bottom is looking nice. Yeah, we're looking good. We're looking good. Okay, so stop touching, girl. Let's let it chill out for a few minutes. I'm excited. Okay, I'm happy that this is going my way for once. I am happy. Okay, so we are going to just wait it out, and I'm excited. I'm so excited. And considering that I started my sourdough journey back in March, the basics I have. I know how to cook, I know how to bake, but getting the right ratios to work for this sourdough, like I know baker's math and I know it's simple, but honestly, sometimes it's not because you have to factor in the hydration of your actual starter or discard in your recipe. Because like yesterday, it was like a 100% hydration dough that I didn't know what to do with. That dough was slipping and falling and sliding all over. Okay. I didn't know what to do with that dough. And then I was out here like kneading it and stuff, adding flour and stuff because I couldn't figure out why is it my dough was just doing the most, right? So I spent some time revisiting my recipe that I had, and I realized, I did not count, and I said it yesterday. I didn't really 100% account for the liquid in the sweet potato versus the liquid in the starter. Well, the not starter, but the discard versus the liquid that I was adding. So that was just like liquid, 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 liquid all over. So I'm gonna have to make sure that when I make these recipes, I account for it. So far, this recipe is a good one for me. And it's smelling good. 5 minutes has passed. So they've now been in the oven for 20 minutes. Right? This is one. This is looking real good. These are the pinwheels. As you can see, This is made with sourdough. It has cheese and garlic in the middle, a little butter as well. They're looking real good, and I'm happy about that. I am. And then this is a little experiment that I did. The ones that you don't see that have the cheese, forgive me, okay? They didn't have the cheese when I was rolling it up. I'm just saying. But this is what it's looking like. It's getting the colors coming through, which this is what I'm looking for. I want a nice brown color, right? So watch me just try to get the color while I'm here talking. And these are the bigger ones, right? So you're gonna get garlic and cheese in every bite. Okay, I'm a fatty, so this is all I care about, right? I kind of basted it now. Yes, we do have butter pooling, but that's okay because there's butter. It's a butter base in the middle. Then I added butter on top. The cheese has oil in it. It's okay. Okay, all you do is once it is baked, you just take it out of the container so it's not sitting in the butter. That's all you have to do. Nothing fancy, nothing serious. Put it over a pan with a wire rack. Boom, you're done. But I like to put what you call it, parchment paper, because this is not sticky. It doesn't stay in the bottom. It's buttery and oily, so it moves. So just get your parchment paper, get you a baking sheet, pan, whatever you have. Okay. And we're gonna put it on. That's it. That's it. Okay. I smell you. I smell you. I'm coming. I'm coming. I'm coming. All right. Pinwheels. Done. Okay. They're nice and golden. And I know they're going to give a good crunch. So, as I was saying earlier, if you were watching earlier, this had a pool of oil because of butter, right? As you can see, this is the bottom. However, it's still okay. The butter got soaked back into the dough while it was baking, and now you're left with this. So this is what this looks like. I like it. It's cooked. It's soft, right? I'm just waiting for the other ones. Because I'm waiting, I like giving them chances in the oven to actually, cook through. If I'm iffy, it's like, ooh, let me put you back in. But I know they're cooked. Right? These are the ones that I had cut. I just wanted to see what it would look like if I didn't put them round. This is what they baked up to be. The ones, this one and this one, they don't have any cheese in it, but they got a lot of butter and garlic, right? But everything else has a bit of cheese, so you bite the cheese, you bite into the cheese, all that good stuff. You get it. This you can leave because there is no butter pooling. This is what the bottom looks like. You can see, nice and golden. It's fine. And then you have the big one. This is the big one, right? This is the one. If there's butter pooling, you can just take it out right away and let it dry. By dry, drain, right? This is what it's looking like. It's done. It's not golden all the way around, but it's finished, right? If you see me leaving this in the oven, it's because I want it to have more color. That's a personal preference. However, you can leave. It's cooked. As long as it's cooked, you can take it out. Right? I'm just gonna leave it in. You can take it out, and you can reheat it in the oven. Warm it in the oven, and that'll be fine. Right? So these are the little pinwheels. They were all made with the same dough. And I'm so happy that they're done, right? Because I'm about to devour this. Okay, so you have cheese throughout, garlic throughout, butter. It's nice and cheesy and buttery and delicious. Okay, so I am thinking we're done. We're good. Everything is done out of the oven. Smells good. I just have to taste it. You know how to do a taste test, right? And as I was talking about the butter cooling, the butter got soaked all the way back up. So that's another thing. I'm just leaving that one in because those were thicker. But that's it. I don't want to burn myself. So I'm gonna just wait. Okay. But today what we did was make a cheesy, garlicky rolls, different ways from the same dough. However, if you wanted to make it like a cinnamon roll, you can cut them all the same, put them in the baking pan and bake them, line them up and bake it. You made the dough, you rest the dough for about 3 to 4 hours. 4 hours is optimal, which is great. Once it's rested, you roll it out, you add your filling. This dough is great because you can use it for cinnamon rolls. I've done it before. So if you don't want a cheesy garlic filling, you can put whatever filling that you want that you would normally put in a roll. Or experiment. Okay? So we did that, and then I decided to cut them smaller. So this is kind of like a little Danish take on it, but it's a pinwheel. Um, you have cheese throughout every bite, as you can see. It'll be garlic throughout. It's gonna be nice and crunchy. The dough itself is soft, but the exterior will have a little crunch to it because of the butter and the cheese, which is something I love. And you can eat it as is, you can eat it whatever. You can turn it into a pizza. As I was saying earlier, you can roll it up with like pizza sauce in it, put some meat in it. Like, you can do whatever. It has cheese and butter and garlic, so add some meat. Call it a day. Call it a mini pizza roll. I don't care. You can do whatever you need to do to make it yours. I just gave the base recipe. And for once, not for once, but for today, the recipe works. Okay? Because the one yesterday didn't, but the one today definitely works. Right? And then these were the bigger rolls. These are kind of like cinnamon rolls. If you want to be fancy, I just made them like this. This is what this looks like. And the butter I was talking about, already gone. It's soaked all the way back up. And that butter has a lot of seasoning. It has the garlic, the chili flakes that I've added, everything like that, soaked all the way up, which is good. Okay. So this is what you have. I'm actually very happy about the end results because I was worried for a split second. Okay. So I'm gonna probably try the smallest one out. It's so hot. It's so good. It's really good. It's buttery. It's cheesy. It's garlicky. It's everything you want in a garlic cheese roll, flavor wise, right? So this is what it looks like. Now, to you, it might look like, ooh, but because I know it's baked, and because it has a lot of butter, butter tends to make things look translucent. Okay? So when you reheat it, it'll just be nice and toasty. And you'll get the melted cheese, you'll get the garlic, you'll get the butter flavor. It'll kind of feel like it's flaky. Right now, this is hot, but once it's cooled, it'll just be delicious. I mean, it's delicious right now. But that is it. Okay? I will check to see who wins the live battle for tomorrow. I'm back here tomorrow at 10 a.m. for another 7 day of sourdough. Tomorrow's gonna be day number 4, which I'm excited for because I have no idea what we're making. Guys, this delicious. It is really good. And you get the nice little tanginess from the sourdough, which completes everything. So good. But that is it for this live stream. I really hope you guys enjoyed. Thank you so much for joining. Thank you for watching. If you've been here since the beginning, thank you. I appreciate it. We're done for today. We're back here tomorrow at 10. So I will see you bright and early for another sourdough bake-a-thon day. All right, that's it. And I'll see you later. Bye.